G'day and welcome to this Australian Open Life. We tell stories and our story is tennis, and the story today is we're doing a score review of the matches that have played out so far at the Bendigo International, the WTA. We're looking at the ladies competition there, the ITF 60 being played up there in Bendigo. Playing in the background, you'll notice, is footage that we published well, pretty much yesterday. The match between Jamie Loeb, the American, defeating the Australian wildcard Catherine Aulia in straight sets, 6-1, 6-2. But we thought we're just experimenting with the type of content we can offer. As you know, for regular listeners, we're a little bit leaning towards the podcast side of things, but we like having the footage playing in the background. So briefly, how this pop-up episode is going to work. Just going to be doing score reviews, just to introduce you to some player names. A lot of internationals up in Bendigo looking to get a run into the Australian summer and try and get that spot in the main draw. How this is going to pan out, this episode will go for about 15 minutes, and then we'll stop and remount, and we'll come back with a similar match play review, just going over the scores and the players at the Traralgon International, which we're heading off to tomorrow, and of course overseas. And it's the overseas audiences that we want to cater to, because there's a lot of interest. So there'll be very little information on the screen, in fact next to nothing. You're going to need to listen carefully. So we're going to go from the first round, which started Monday at Bendigo, and just go through to the second round matches. So there's quite a few to get through. The first two rounds of the Bendigo International, we're going to go through them in chronological order. There are some familiar names here. Monday the 3rd of January. The first round matches. So the first match we're looking at is between Christina Buxa, who is the #1 seed, playing the German Katharina Gerlach. The Spaniard through in straight sets, 7-5, 6-3. The next match from Belarus, Yulia Hutuka. That name rings a bell. And Miriam Bjorklund. I actually watched this match from the sidelines while I was waiting for the match between Alycia Parks and Alison. This was a really entertaining match. Miriam Bjorklund from Sweden. Both the girls really evenly matched. I wasn't paying great attention, but in the end, the player from Belarus got through. She won in 3 sets, 7-5, 6-2. 7-5, 2-6, 6-2. The next match, first local player, Talia Gibson. Unfortunately, she went down in a really tough 3-setter, actually, I can see here. She lost to Hannah Chang of the United States. Hannah lost the first set, 2-6, and then it was an incredibly hard-fought match from there. Incredibly evenly matched, these players, you can tell by the score. Hannah Chang from America winning 7-6, 7-6 in the third set, and went through the third set reasonably easily in the end. The third match we're looking at, a battle between Yuki Naito of Japan and CoCo Vandeweghe, the 6th seed. Hint, hint. CoCo Vandeweghe was successful in 3 sets, so had to earn her place in the second round. CoCo Vandeweghe won 4-6, won 6-4, 3-6, 6-2. Following them was Grace Min, the 4th seed, an American, winning in 2 sets over a player from Andorra, would you believe, Victoria Jimenez Katsaneva. Grace Min winning, losing, I beg your pardon, dear oh dear. She lost, Grace Min lost 6-4, 6-2. The next match, a player from Bosnia-Herzegovina. She played Beatrice Gumlia, and I'm pretty sure that's India, that country code. No, Indonesia. Now that's encouraging to see. We don't often see players competing at this level from Indonesia. On this occasion, Beatrice lost in straight sets to the player from Bosnia-Herzegovina. She went down 6-1, 6-3. The next first-round match at the Bendigo International, Swiss player Joanne Zuger up against the Chinese player Xianda Yu, the Swiss player winning in 3 sets, 6-4, 2-6, 6-1. The second local up for the day in this schedule, Alana Parnaby. She was playing Ariane Hartono from the Netherlands, who also recently featured in one of our past episodes. I believe Ariane's playing at Adelaide. The Dutch player successful 6-0, 6-2. From Georgia, Mariam Bolgvadze. She's the 7th seed. She was playing Kathlinka von Dijkman, who I think is from Liechtenstein. And I also saw this match. This was the next match after the one I spoke before. I was waiting for the Alycia Parks Alison Bai match to finish. And Liechtenstein, it wasn't hard to pick out her supporters, and also when the umpire announced the country of origin, my ears pricked up. Liechtenstein, not really known as being a tennis powerhouse, but the Liechtenstein player was victorious over the 7th seed, 6-1, 6-4. So she'll be very happy that she made the long trip to Australia and into regional Victoria up to Bendigo for this qualifying tournament for the Australian Open. Now, the following match, the next match, I can speak at length about because I was watching it. Quite closely, even though it was situated on court 7, way out to the west, the west side of the tournament grounds, and this one was. If I had have known that this was going to be the way this match panned out, it was incredibly competitive, incredibly tough. The Australian player, Alison Bai, up against the American Alycia Parks, and I've not seen a player like Alycia Parks since Venus Williams hit the scene as a 16-year-old, closely followed by Serena. A very charismatic presence. On the tournament schedule, Alycia Parks wearing a hot pink tennis outfit, but she's got the game to match. And Alison put up such a great fight, and she had a great support crew amongst the crowd there, cheering her on. Probably maybe 20 to 30, maybe even 40 people watching Alison, cheering her on. She was a wild card, actually, Alison. But she did. She sort of didn't really get going in the first set, which she lost 6-3, and then she came back with a vengeance and won 7-6, a very closely fought second set. But she couldn't maintain that momentum. She went down in the third, 6-3. Alycia Park's body language was pretty ordinary for most of the match, and I was a bit surprised that she started. Well, she just reminded me of Nick Kyrgios, that she seemed just as interested in playing a mental game against the local supporters as she did opponent on the other side of the net. So it was all very entertaining, is the bottom line, and it's those sort of experiences that make these qualifying tournaments, regional tournaments, worthwhile, because you're right up close to the courtside. There's no corporate boxes. There's no media boxes. It's all very intimate in the best possible way. If you're like your live competitive sport, this match was a fantastic example of really good quality day out, and only $5 entry to get in. So bad luck for Alison by the wild card, but she would have really would have had to have been happy with her performance. That she pushed Alycia Parks all the way, and in terms of the mental side of the game, she was well in control of her game. Alycia Parks possibly needs to work on hers. So we'll wrap it up there. You've been listening to The Bloke Who Walks. This is a special presentation of the Spotlight series, the live score review of the ITF 60 Women's International Tournament in Bendigo. We'll be back in Bendigo covering that tournament on Friday the 7th of January 2022. Tomorrow, Thursday the 6th of January, we're off to Traralgon to get a first look at that tournament. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You've been listening to This Australian Open Life. Bye for now. This Australian Open Life is produced by Wise Words Media and Calumny Films.